Hey, what is going on, you guys? Today, we are going to be going over how much I make in dividend income from a $10,000 account. And you can see I have my dividend portfolio tracker in Google Sheets open so that we can clearly see exactly how much dividend income I've made, as well as a lot of other important metrics such as my portfolio value over time. If you'd like to be able to download this portfolio tracker, then you can head to my Patreon page at the link in the description. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into my dividend portfolio. So let's go ahead and start by taking a look at my portfolio's current holdings. And if we look right here, we can see the symbol for all the holdings in my portfolio currently. And I have about 17 stocks currently in my dividend portfolio. If we look at our days change column, we can see that today is definitely a down day in the market. I'm tracking things like our price, cost, and market value here. And then some tracking metrics to see growth over time. We have a 1-year trend line. Then here we have a lot of dividend data as well as the industry tracked. So let's go ahead and look at my portfolio value tab. And here on my portfolio value tab, on this huge chart right here, you can see how the value of my portfolio has increased over time. I started tracking this back in February, and the current value of my portfolio at the time was just about $7,600, and at the beginning of October, it was about $10,259. This is partly due to some realized and unrealized gains, as well as me adding capital to different positions in my portfolio. If we'll come over here, you can see the dividend portfolio value is currently at $10,450 today, and my portfolio cost over time is just $10,157. This is a 2.89% increase in unrealized gains, and the unrealized gains in a dollar amount is currently almost at $300. If we come over here, you can see my value by individual holdings. You'll see there's a few stocks that hold really large positions in my portfolio, and those two stocks are the Coca-Cola Company, as well as O, which is a Realty Income Corporation. Then I have a lot of other stocks as well mixed in. Here on this chart, we can see my dollar and percent gain. So you can see a lot of my largest gains are coming from the Coca-Cola Company, AB, and O. If we look over here, you can see my value by industry. I currently have a lot of capital tied up into financials, so that's something I'm looking to diversify a little bit when I get the chance. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump to the part that we've all been waiting to see, which is my Dividend Outlook tab. And you can see there is a lot to take in here on my Dividend Outlook tab, but let's start over here at the top left. And we can see based on my current portfolio holdings, I have an expected yearly dividend income of $575, which I think is a really great start to my dividend journey. My dividend income year to date is $277. It's a little bit lower than my expected yearly dividend income at this point, but that's because I've added a lot of positions recently to my portfolio. My average monthly dividends is expected to be about $48, and my highest month of dividend income yet is $74.07. My current portfolio dividend yield is 5.51%, which is a pretty high current portfolio dividend yield, and so far for this year, I have received 27 different dividend payments. And if we jump over here to the right, we can see a historical monthly dividend income over time chart. So like I said, I started tracking this in February, and you can see in February I made $74.07 in dividend income. There was a huge dip the next month, but that's because most of the stocks that I own typically pay dividends at the same time. So for example, most of the stocks I own paid all their dividends in February, and then there was a huge dip in March. April, there was a nice little increase up to $26.50. And then in May, I was back at about $74. Again, there's a huge dip in June, back down to about $2 or $3. And this is where you can see in July, I made about $54 in dividend income. It wasn't as large this month as the previous months here in May and February, but that is because that I decided to sell out of my AT&T stock since they made the announcement of their dividend cut. And you can see since then, my dividend income has been a little bit lower, but that's because I was waiting on a good buying opportunity, and I expect my dividend income in October to be possibly my highest yet. So now let's take a look and see where this dividend income is coming from. So let's jump over and we can see my expected dividend income by industry. If we'll look here, you can see financials is by far my largest industry for dividend income currently. I'm making almost $300 every year from financials alone. So this is by far my biggest dividend provider. And we can see here I have things like consumer staples, which Coca-Cola is in, real estate, and communication services, all providing a decent amount of dividend income. Then I have some other industries in my portfolio as well, such as energy, healthcare, and information technology. If we jump over to my yield on cost chart, you can see I have a few stocks with fairly high dividend yields, but I also have some staple dividend stocks such as J&J, KHC, and Coca-Cola, and Verizon, which actually has a little bit of a higher dividend yield than most dividend stocks. And let's take a look at my last chart, and that is my expected yearly dividend income. And this is showing it for each individual stock that I own in my portfolio. So you can see there's just a handful of stocks that make up the majority of my dividend income. And my largest provider of dividend income is stock ticker ACRE. And you can see here it's providing about $100 worth of dividend income. Then I have Coca-Cola over here. It's almost at $75. I have O, which is Realty Income Corporation, which is also at almost $75. I have Verizon at about $50. And then I have Goldman Sachs Business Development Corporation at about $50 as well. Then I have a lot of other stocks that are right at about $25 or just a little bit below. So in conclusion, you can see that from a $10,000 dividend account, I'm expecting to make about $576 for the year in dividend income, which comes out to just under $50 a month. I am expecting next month to be one of my largest months of dividend income yet, so be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss next month's portfolio update. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you'd like to gain access to this dividend portfolio tracker, then you could head to my Patreon at the link in the description.